إنه على ذلك لشهيد وإنه لحب الخير لشديد أفلا يعلم إذا بؤثر ما في القبور وحصل ما في الصدور إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Very good, mashallah. Rafi, mashallah. Please recite a loud salawat for Rafi. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Brother and sister, Brother Jafar Mohsin wishes to share update on the fundraising which we had yesterday. So I'll request Brother Jafar Mohsin to come and speak to us.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Yesterday we conducted a fundraising. Alhamdulillah, it went very well. And yesterday we achieved $78,000 in funding. And we missed one donation pledge. I just want to announce that one today. So Brother Nigah sent pledge $3,000. So in total we achieved $81,000. Our goal was $100,000. And as I mentioned, this month of Ramadan, a month of mercy, is a still opportunity. If you want to donate anything, just contact any brother from our trustees and we'll provide you the form. Jazakallah. Thank you very much.
बराए खुशनुदी इमाम अली इब्न अबी तालिब अलैहिस्सलाम पलंतर सलावत reminder for tomorrow all night amal inshallah we're going to start 8:15 dua iftitah and after namaz and iftar we're going to start the all night amal inshallah, so be here in time. Now I'll now request Maulana Sayyid Hadi Yasin to please address us on this night, blessed night of Ramadan. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
बैठे आप बैठेंगे हाँ कतीक सब बैठे हुए थे उसका बच्चा बुलाने आ गया हम जा रहे हैं चलेंगे कभी
नारे सलावत
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبو القاسم المصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لغاية يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Ya Allah, inshallah, accept all our prayers, our du'as, our supplications, inshallah, and our fastings. And reward us for our presence tonight in this masjid and majlis. Recite another salawat on Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this great opportunity that once again we all together. Another gathering, another day of fasting, alhamdulillah, another ibadah we had, inshallah. We ask Him to bless us, inshallah, in bestow us the best of His mercy and rahmat, inshaAllah. Month of Ramadan is a very special month that it's full of blessings and mercy and maghfirah. Each and every corner of this month, when you look, you see that it has something to offer to you. Whoever needs any aspects of their life, needs some support, a supplement, they can get it from month of Ramadan. One of the most important aspects of our life that we can improve in month of Ramadan, which we need it for other months as well. And technically what we get from month of Ramadan is not just for the month of Ramadan, is to achieve for the rest of the year until the next Ramadan. One of the most important things is the connection and relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Matter of fact, it is the most important, or one of the most important reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He created human beings, to have connection with Him. To be connected with Him. Only and only He Himself. To feel that they need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their lives. To feel that they're not independent when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أنتم الفقراء إلى الله. We're all faqir and we're all poor in front of Allah, and you need His support. Without His mercy and support, you're no one and nothing, right? So this connection is very important, which different terms, different names, different terminology we can use for it. But in Islam, in Arabic, we call it, for example, dua, supplication, praying. Which is not only for Islam, all religions, technically Abrahamic religions specifically, they have these concepts. Christians, they have it. Jews, they have, that the connection and dua with, the God, that they have to pray and they have to be connected to Him. But this is at the same time one of the most misunderstood topics, because each group, or sometimes each religion, they have their own understanding and their own interpretation of connection with Allah. It's very interesting. Each group comes and says, no, I think I have to, be connected to Allah this way. Even within one religion, some people come and says, I don't have to pray, ritual prayers like 5 days. No, I just have to, whenever I talk to God and I get connected. You see? A lot of personal opinion comes when it comes to the topic of connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to see that, again, all this topic of night of Eid, Ramadan, every night coming to the center, to the masjid, the whole concept is what? The whole dua, the whole relationship is what? Getting connected with Allah, be connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? This is the ultimate goal, to get to the level that we see we're connected. But how? What is it? How should we do it? What if the way that I saw the whole topic of connection with Allah and dua and supplication is not a correct version? How can I check myself to make sure I am actually connected? Why I'm saying, because of this. In any relationship with anyone, husband, wife, father, parent, children, doesn't matter. So you need to consider the request and the style of the person you're dealing with in order to make the connection. You might have heard about this. I'm dealing with this every day. That people come to my office and he or she says, but I'm showing my love. I'm doing all these things. I don't understand why she's not appreciating me. And she's like, but I don't receive what I'm supposed to receive. You're doing the way that you think you have to do it. Look at this. He said, I'm buying all these things, I'm working this amount of hours. So what else do you want? This is all love. From your perspective, your version, yes, this is how you love. But is this the way that the other one would receive love as well? No. Most probably not. So then you cannot say this is the love that I'm saying. You have to consider what? The request of the one you're dealing with. I can't go to Allah and say, this is the way that Allah to connect with you. You know what? Allah not to pray, not to do anything. Anytime that I feel I want to talk to you, then I'm connected to you. Well, you're doing it for your own sake and for your own heart. You're not doing it for the sake of the relationship with Allah. If you were doing it for Allah, you were considering what? Him in that relationship as well. How many people say, just keep your heart pure, Allah is Kareem, Allah is... Why we don't say it in the, when we go to the company to work at the school, why we don't say the same thing? Let's be nice to each other, so I'm going to come late, so be okay that, if I don't submit my project, that's not the matter, don't make it a big deal. We don't say these things when it comes to other relationships. Husband and wife, they're very intimate and very strict when it comes to the rights and responsibilities, right? But when it comes to Allah, however you want, whoever comes, Bismillah. Dr. so-and-so, engineer so-and-so, brother so-and-so, doesn't have a mic, Bismillah. I think Quran says this way. I think, excuse me, where did you study first? Where did you get your degree in Islamic studies first? I studied myself. Well, I don't know if you would trust me if I say I studied, medical major, and then please bring your stomach to me because I'm going to rip it out. Would you do that? But when it comes to what? When it comes to our souls, we easily give our souls to whoever comes. Just some YouTube, videos and few views, that's it. Bismillah, and then let's go. Sit down in front of Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, listen to them because they're going to talk about Islam. And usually they talk very nicely because, they add some wrong things into this, make it different than other versions as well, right? Why, when it comes to our souls, the food of our souls, we're so generous, unfortunately, and lavishly, spend our time and give it to whoever comes. Well, we're not like this. When it comes to my car, I go check the rate of the mechanics online to make sure I find the best. Not to sit down in front of whoever comes and says, this is what it is, so therefore I have to understand, if I want to be connected to Allah, I have to do it only and only the way that He says. If you want to be connected to me, you have to go through this path. That's it. That's it. Someone, Prophet Musa he was passing on the street, for example. He saw someone is sitting and crying out loud, very, passionately, Ya Allah, give me my hajjah, Ya Allah. Musa passed. 7 days after that, 1 week after that, he was passing the same area again. He saw the same person in the same position, with the same hajjah. He's requesting for the same hajjah over and over. Look at Allah, Musa, Ya Allah, what's going on? This guy, 7 days he's requesting it. We're not giving it to him. I know that there is a reason. What's going on? The Wahy came and Revelation says, if he sits down here for the rest of his life and he keeps requesting what he wants, I'm not going to give it to him. Why? Because he's not asking the way that I am asking him to ask me. What does it remind you of? That I want to do the way that I want? Tell me. There's the name of someone very famous, and he's unfortunately around all of us. Yeah, Shaitan. Allah says, bow down in front of Adam. What did He say? You know what, Allah? Let me pick the way that I want to worship you. Don't tell me how I'm supposed to worship you. Let me worship you. I'm not going to bow down in front of Adam. But wallahi, swear to you, I will worship you the way that no one from jinn and ins worship you in the whole entire universe. Allah said, put all together. This is the way that I'm putting. All together, get out of here. I don't want you to worship me. I want you to what? To obey me. To be submitted to me. I want you to be Muslim. Submitted. Allah didn't say Muslim, I'm mad at you. I don't want you to worship the way that you want. I want you to be the way I want it. He said something, Allah, I worship you the way that and He was right. I will worship you the way that no jinn and ins will worship you. Did you think I need your worship? No. Did you think you came here, you sit down and you're giving me something that you came and making the masjid? You're benefiting yourself. You have to appreciate me that I'll let you pray actually. That's why we have to be careful, first of all. Understand, if I want to be connected to Allah, from what source I'm getting my spiritual nutritions, right? Please, as soon as someone is telling you he got a degree, I mean, not even degree where, we don't know nowadays about it, but as soon as Dr. So-and-so and so-and-so got the mic and sit somewhere, don't be deceived because they're talking nicely. dua and connection with Allah? How should they do it? Many misconceptions we have in this topic. Number one, some people think that, one of the misunderstanding, dua is that Ramadan is the month of dua and connection, right? Supplication. Some people think that dua is when you need something and you have haja, a request. When you need something, you go knock on the door of Allah. When no one else can help you, when no one else can help you, and you are disappointed with others, that's the time you go to the most powerful, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you don't need haja, you don't have to go. If you have a patient or someone who is sick, or you need a haja request, then masjid and center, inshallah. If you want to buy that land and you need help, Bismillah, ya Allah, who's better than you to help me, right? But if you don't need haja, you don't need to request anything, I mean, what's the point of coming to masjid because I have to go to work? More important. And then tomorrow I have to go to work as well, right? And I have some other important things than coming to worship and be connected to Allah. During the day, I'm busy because I'm making money. What do you mean, Sayyid? You mean I have to quit and go pray? Because you don't need Allah. Of course you don't do it. But if someone is in the surgery room, you're going to be like an angel all the time, around the masjid all the time, praying. Quran is always here, playing Ya Allah. Donation comes to the center, and Ya Allah, Bismillah. And there's a request in Hajj. Is this the concept of connection with Allah? Which somehow all of us, we deal with this sometimes as well, you know? Sometimes. Do you think that's the correct version of dua and connection with Allah? Do you think? I don't think so, right? Imagine someone, your friend, only calls you. You might have one of those persons. Only calls you when they need something. Then finally, you know, okay, so, Assalamu alaikum, how can I help you? Right? You know this person, you don't respect that person that much. Compared to someone who calls you, Assalamu alaikum, how's everything? I just want to say how you doing. I just miss you. Someone texts you in the middle of the day, your wife, and says, I just want to say I miss you, I love you. Not just, you know, buy yogurt and cheese and chickpeas and then finally I love you too, because don't forget. Yeah. Randomly, just text, I just want to say I love you. The connection. In this version of definition of dua is very boring. So only when I need him, I'll get connected. I pray to him, right? So if there's no haja, there's no request, there's no connection in the relationship. So what should I pray? I don't have to pray. Second version of dua. Dua by itself, terminology, etymology, means what? To call. Dua means to call. The correct version, the second version of dua is that you call Allah. You talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sake of the love between you and him, no matter if you have haja request or not. For the sake of the love between you and him, for the sake of appreciating him, for the sake of just being with him because you love to be with him. Remember when you keep saying this example, when you were engaged, you know, you were looking for any excuse to talk to each other, you know, how's everything and how. Nowadays it's easier, they have cell phone and all these WhatsApp areas, you know. But at that time, some people, because we have some brothers, you know, above 50 years old. So they didn't have phones at that time and stuff like that. So, but you were looking for any excuse to make this connection, to talk to that person, right? You call Allah, you talk to Allah, no matter what. There's no boundaries. There's no time for you to talk to him. Yes, he said 5 times a day, that's my request. 5 times a day, you take your wuzu, you stand in front of Qibla, you pray the way that I told you to pray. At the beginning of my speech, what did I say? I said, the way that the other one is requesting. First of all, you're not benefiting me, but I want you to be submitted. Do the way that I want it. Based on that hadith, if you do not say your salah prayer, أول ما يحاسب. The first thing that I will ask at the day of judgment is your salah. If you pass these prerequisites, then the other thing will be accepted. If you have issue with your salah, he's talking about his what? The way that he consider love, connection, right? If you don't have this salah, doesn't matter how many madrasa, school, how many jihad and hajj and anything in this world you did, I'm not going to consider any of them at all. Because you didn't do for me. You did it for the sake of your own heart. Sallallahu alhamdulillah. A better example, may Allah inshallah give shafa to all, may Allah inshallah and patience. Someone who has OCD has to take wuzu 5 times, has to do those 3 times, 5 times, right? Come and ask me. A lot of examples I have, a lot of people come. You're not taking wuzu for Allah. You're doing it for the sake of your own understanding, the second and the third time. Why are you saying this? Because Allah says the first time that's enough. Now you keep doing it, so you're not doing it for Him. One of the sisters was saying that her house was close to the masjid. Night of Qadr, something like last night. She said to the scholar, she said, the whole night that you were doing A'mal, I could hear you. I was in the shower doing this. Keep doing this. And it was waswas, and you spot it, and you go get over and over. So you're not doing it for Allah. Because Allah says what? One time, waswas in haram, get away from it, right? Why you don't have waswas in paying homes? Why you don't have waswas in the donation? Like last night you had fundraising, today you come and says, no, that's not enough, I have to pay again, right? Is it enough? No, another one. Please have waswas in that area. I love you. No one has waswas in this area. Why? Because I pick, well, part of my life I want to repeat over and over. In this, the second version of dua that we talked, in this way, you follow what He wants, what makes Him satisfied. You're just so mesmerized by His love. What are you? Who are you? I have nothing to present to you, nothing to give to you, nothing to benefit you, and you keep benefiting me. Matter of fact, I'm disobeying you sometimes. Matter of fact, I do something wrong many times. You said don't, and I do it. And you close your eyes, you forgive me, you accept my repentance, and you tell me to come back. Who are you? What you're doing? I'm just so loving your personality. But how merciful, how kind you are. I look at myself throughout the whole year. I don't deserve to be sitting in the masjid, in the majlis of, dua, in the majlis of Qadr, night of Qadr, and you give me the permission to come and sit down. You are amazing, God. You're amazing. Then you don't need, beside that 5 times a day, you're driving, you're taking a shower, you're walking, you're working, you're always connected. Always connected. You're always connected. In these aspects, then you keep calling. Then you keep, unless your connection has issue. Unless something is wrong with the way that you want to get connected, something would block your connection, you know that He listens to you. You know that He answers you. It's impossible that you say, Ya Allah, and He doesn't listen to you. Impossible. It's just up to me that I remember last time you said, trust Him. That I know when I ask for something, He 400% He will answer me. Either He said, sweetheart, there you go, or sweetheart, it's not good for you. Both are the definition that Allah answers your dua and He says, that's it. So now, remove dua and connection with Allah from someone's life. You have nothing. Nothing. Ayah Quran says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Surah Quran, Ayah 77. قُلْ مَا يَأْبَوْ بِكُمْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا دُعَاءُكُمْ. If it's not for the sake of you invoke Him, you talk to Him, you pray to Him, He wouldn't care about it. What is the point then? What is the point? That He will take care of you. So that's about this, the correct definition of dua, that if I want to see not to be in the misconception about dua. If I say, Ya Allah, and how He's answering, Ya Allah, I want to feel love. Can you show love to me? Yes. How? He doesn't have to be on the ground to show it to you, despite the idea of some of the other religions that Allah comes to the earth and you wrestle with some people. But in Islam, He doesn't have to do it. He shows love to you by how you're driving, you see a homeless person is in need. You stop, you help him. Then you feel the satisfaction. You feel how Allah feels. Ya Allah, stop if I'm saying it wrongly. You feel how He feels when He helps someone, right? He loves to help. He's generous. He's merciful. When someone is in need in the community, you're not neglected. You say, it's not my fault. You're like, yeah, I'm going to help. When someone is knocking your door, you open it very welcoming to them. Please come. If your friends call you 4 or 5 times, the 5th time, you're going to say, yes. He says, yeah, how can I do it? Very nicely, because you are a representative of love of Allah to me, right? And you represent love of Allah to me. Ya Allah, can you show yourself to me? Allah says, yeah, I'm going to show you. Next month, your brother is going to have a baby. You see the baby is coming, and the baby is in the hands of your brother. He says, this is Allah. This is what Allah is doing it. How is it possible that it's coming from nothing, right? What are we made from? Oh, this is Allah indeed. You see from the power, the benefit of Allah to us. That's about the dua. Now, how to pray? The second question. How to pray? How to be connected to Him? Depends who you are going to meet. If you have a meeting with someone important in this world, depends how important is that person. You need more time to prepare yourself for that meeting, right? You write down, you practice, you tell your friends, your family, come, okay, I'm going to, practice it. Can you please tell me if I make a mistake? You keep practicing so you won't make a mistake when you talk to that important person, right? If you had a lecture, what would you do? Those who are not, used to it, practice days and weeks and months for maybe 5-10 minutes, half an hour it's lecture, right? I'm not going to meet a mayor. I'm not going to meet a president. I'm not going to meet a Imam al-Ma'soom. I'm going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't you think we have to be prepared for that? Don't you think we have to know how to talk? If you want to give a lecture, you most probably will Google it. What kind of lectures, what kind of style you have to have, how you have to do. Don't you think we have to be ready for that connection with Allah? We should know how to talk. We go ask experts. Here we should have experts in connection with Allah. Who are they? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his family. To go to them. They are the experts in the relationship with who? With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask them, they tell you how to pray. Open the Sahif al-Sajjadiyah by Imam Sajjad. Then you will realize and you will learn how to talk to God. If they publish, I wish we can do it. If we publish the translation of Sahif al-Sajjadiyah dua, right? In a book without a cover, just show it to someone who's not familiar with this, right? And change the words of Allah and stuff like that. Give it to someone who says, what is this? And oh my God, this person should have been in love with someone very, very deeply and passionately. I've never seen any romantic letters to anyone the way that it's been written in Sahif al-Sajjadiyah. Imam prepares himself how to talk. Imam knows how to start out. Imagine you want to ask someone, very important. You have a meeting with that person. You open the door of his office, you go to his office. Yes, salam alaikum, please give me this and this and this and this. Khuda hafiz, inshallah, see you next time. Do you talk this way? No. You sit down very respectfully. Thank you so much. I appreciate for your time. I know you were so busy. How's everything? Let me tell you this and that. And then finally, at the end, you say, by the way, if you can help me. Some people, when they want to talk to Allah, my house and my car and my children and my baby and my neighbor, they don't have the kids as well. But inshallah, see you next time. But some people like you guys, you can't sit down a night of bad. You start Don Joshan, you recite Quran, because you want to warm up yourself spiritually. You want to be ready for that. and you go through the dua, you go through the amal, and at the end you say, Ya Allah, help me. For me, it's not important. The dua at the end of that request is not important. For me, what is important is I'm connected to you. Our relationship is more important to me. I know because of what? Because you said as well, إِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ. When my servant prays to me, I'm so close to him and her, and I hear that dua, and I will answer that. Ya Allah, you're way busier than what we think. You have the whole world to, and you listen my words when I pray to you. How amazing is this? Dua come in, what do you say? Ya Sari' al-Ridha. اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا. You forgive the one who maghfirah to someone that has nothing except what? Dua. The only weapon that we have is the dua connection. And that is strong. It's just up to you how you look at it. You have to change the qaza and qadar, your decrees based on what? Dua. The connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, we have to be ready for that. We have to understand. We have to understand how, by what? By following Ahlul Bayt. By following Quran and Ahlul Bayt. Remember, in all these nights we keep saying two important things, as Rasulullah said, Quran and Ahlul Bayt. The booklet that we have for children, Ramadan booklet, alhamdulillah, no, our children's committee, what they did. If you don't know your children what they're learning, that's why you should know. The dua of prophets from Quran, each night they're teaching them one dua from one prophet from Quran. I'm sure the way that Nuh, he talked to Allah is amazing. I'm sure the way that Ibrahim talked to Allah, that's amazing. We published that, we're teaching the children each night how our prophets, they pray to Allah. How they were learning from. Not that the way that you like it, because some people, when they talk to Allah, they think they're talking to their cousins, for example, you know. But don't worry about this. I know you got upset a little bit, but don't be upset, inshallah, everything will be. What do you mean? What do you mean? So, this is the most important thing that we have to pay attention. Number one, it's all about me constantly being in touch with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this connection, right? Second is about the way that I want to do. First of all, absolutely I have to go through the path of Islamic regulations. If someone is telling you something against this, if someone is minimizing fiqh and shara, if someone is minimizing marja and marja'iyat and risala, be very scared to be next to that person. I'm saying because I'm obligated to say, and I'm done, this is the hujjah, it's up to you now. At the day of judgment, you can't say, I didn't hear. If you see someone is minimizing marja'iyya, taqleed, be careful and be scared of that person. Why? Because you do taqleed every single day. You take your car to someone who is expert in that aspect, because you don't know how to fix your car. You go to the doctor that he or she is expert in that medical major, right? Because you're not expert. Then why, when it comes to shara, you have to go follow a marja who is expert in that? Everybody get panic. Oh, why tablet? Why not? You're doing it every single day. So this is the idea of shaitan comes to you, that is speaker, and wants to mess up the mind of yourself and others. And you think because you got some degree, you have the right to alternate the whole Islamic concept. Be very careful. That's why I'm going back to what I started with. Don't listen to whoever just talk nicely or has a title. Why am I saying it? At the day of judgment, this is the Quran, we have traditions. Group of people comes and says, Ya Allah, we know we made a mistake. We know, but because our Imam was a wrong Imam. We have Imam Shar and Imam Khair. Imam Shar is what? The one who mislead and misguide the followers. It doesn't matter. You were supposed to open your eyes. Don't follow that person who misguided you. Yeah, it looks like so nice to have some open-minded discussions about quotes and quotes, you know? No, these are not okay. Ulama, they made it for themselves. We don't have chutney, we don't have shara, we don't have... You got to be careful about who you're following. This is the connection. This is the way that we have to look at our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the last point that I want to add is this. This connection, remember in the middle of my speech I said, unless your connection, your devices have issue to make that connection, you will have that connection. What do I mean by the threats? What do I mean by by some issues that would not let you be connected to Allah? Number one, Allahumma اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء. I seek refuge with you from those zunub and sins that would imprison my dua. Then it doesn't matter if 50 years or 60 years or 70 years you're praying, because of certain sins that are. One of them, happiness. If any happiness, the rights of someone is in your money, the right of someone else. I know you had the issue, I know you went to the courts, I know that happened a few years ago, but one of those issues and sins are that if you go to the house of Kaaba, inside the house, and pray and crying, it's not going to be accepted if you have happiness. Shaheed is going to be stopped. Shaheed in the battle, a martyr in the battle, is going to be stopped if he has happiness, if she has happiness. Happiness is not just money, by the way. Happiness is that I posted something online in my social media and I destroyed the honor of someone. That's happiness' word. Happiness is that my sister came to me and says, I have issue with my husband. Divorce. You shouldn't be with him. No. That's happiness. Are you expert? Happiness is that my brother came and talked to me about certain things. Either I didn't know, I misguided him. Bismillah, this is happiness. Money is one of the aspects of happiness. Happiness, that means my brother says, let's go to a center tonight. No, inshallah, let's go somewhere else, do something. This is happiness. Tahbis dua. There's certain things within prison dua. Second, bad intention. I'm praying for what? What do I want to do with that? I'm asking you to give me that request for what? Wrong intention and bad intention, sometimes when people reason that, you will not get what you're asking. Second, third, sometimes you pray, you have to know. It might be good for you. It might be, something you thought is good for you, but it's not indeed good for you. Allah is not going to give it to you. Asa an tuhibbu shay'an wa huwa sharrun lakum. Sometimes you think it's good for you, but it's not good for you. So don't insist too much on something. Ya Allah, either I marry this person or no one else. I'm talking to those who are not married, not to those who are married. The first time married. Because some others were listening very carefully, those who are already married, but not on the tape. Ya Allah, either this one or not. Don't insist too much. That means you're ordering Allah what is the best for you. So you know something, you went to the real estater, it says, just this land, give it to me. It's not the way to say. Ya Allah, if it's khair for me, give it to me. If it's not khair for me, I don't want the whole world to come and give it to me, right? If you think this person is good for me, that means what? You will be my wakil, you will be my attorney to help me. If it's good for me. If you insist too much, you might get it later, and then don't go back to him and says, why this is not the way that I wanted? Because you insisted. Asa an tuhibbu shay'an wa huwa وَأَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Sometimes you don't like something, but it's khayr and good for you. Therefore, where we have to pay attention then, to summarize it, number one is that get your spiritual benefits and fruits from the original and authentic sources. Authentic sources. Then inshallah in another speech I will tell you we have traditions that the wala that they are telling us, if you want to sit down in front of someone, who that person should be and what kind of characteristics that person should have. And one of them is that you don't learn that person should help you from arrogance go to what? Humbleness. Not that opposite. We have to learn. So number one, from who we have to learn the authentic sources. Second is about having the correct and authentic version of our, inshallah, Islamic concept and theories and theologies that we have. Third, which we were talking about, the concept of dua and connection to Allah. These days and nights are all about this. Sallallahu Muhammad wa Muhammad. One of the biggest mercy of Allah upon all of us is showing some great examples and role models in our life. To show to us, no matter how big you can become, you still need to be connected. The best of all examples that Allah sent to us is who? Amir al-Mu'mineen. The student, the best students of Rasulullah. Did you see Ali with that prestige, with that level, with that maqam, with that position? When he prays to Allah, he prays like a little baby crying when he sees his mom. It looks like he's so faqir, so in need in front of Allah. Ilahi wa Rabbi man li ghayk. For Ali, there's no one, nothing. The only thing and the only one Ali has is you, Ya Allah. You have access to the whole world. Allah give you permission, you have everything. You're so amazing. What? He says, Ya Allah, sometimes go read this Quran supplication. Just read the translation. Just see this person, who he was, is above and beyond our understanding. He says, Ya Allah, you know what? Document, Ya Allah, you know what? I know how merciful you are. Even one day if you throw me to the hellfire. If you throw me to the hellfire, I will shout out and tell everyone that he is so merciful and he is so great. There's nothing wrong from him. It's over. The only thing Ali has is you. And then how sad it is that he's surrendered among a group of people that they don't understand. Who was Ali? Malik Ashtar said, I wish I could take Ali from that time to another time and era that people would know who is Ali. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, off to this dunya, go to this dunya, that people are comparing me with Muawiyah. Someone so corrupted, so horrible. Adar, anzalani, thumma anzalani. This world puts me down, take me down, all the way that people are comparing me with Muawiyah. How difficult it is. How difficult it is. And how blessed we are that we have someone like Amir al-Mu'mineen. Sometimes you talk to some people that says, those who are not familiar with Ahlul Bayt, says, did you hear about Qadir? Did you hear? No. What is Qadir? No. You Shia? No. We just heard you have Ashura. What is Qadir? What is Qadir at home? You never heard about that? No. Rasulullah had a daughter. Someone came in. Muslim. She was a Muslim. Rasulullah had a daughter. They told us he didn't have any daughter or anything. It's no one's fault except, don't blame others, ourselves. Because I was so busy with something more important. I could promote this, I could guide people, I could tell the whole world about my leaders and guide others, and I didn't. I was so busy with making $2, $4, $8, $10. I was so busy with this worldly things around me. I could do something, I could be according to our level. Someone can sit down here and talk, someone can over there, someone can write something, someone can publish something, someone can do something else. Each of us do something. If you can introduce Amir al-Mu'mineen, if you can introduce Hussein to the world, you just talk about their beauties. You don't have to talk bad about their enemies. Just talk about their beauties and everybody will follow. the scholars says we read in Hajj, in Arafah, they recite dua what? Dua Arafah, okay? Of Imam Hassan. He said we were reciting, as a Shia recites out loud, he says, I've seen one person, someone who was an Arab guy, he threw himself into the tent. It's like he rushed towards the tent. He fell down when he says, who said this dua? I was like so amazed by the phrases of dua Arafah. We'll read the translation of the who is this dua belong to? He was just saying the dua Imam Hussein. So that few phrases that he said, I was just passing your tent, I heard few phrases of this dua, that is, and he became Shia. Few phrases of the dua that changed someone. This is our responsibility, that I won't feel shy to say I'm Muslim. That I won't feel shy, even if I want to be Muslim, I'm vegetarian. No, I'm Muslim and I eat halal, and this is the fact, and I have a job, and I'm this and this and this. Any question? Bismillah, we can continue. It's so unfair that I have Ali and I hide him. And I hide him. And I don't want anyone to know I know Ali and I'm following Ali. Yes, Malik said, I wish I could take him somewhere that people knew. But do we know the ma'rifat of Ali? Do we know the maqam of Amir al-Mu'minin or not? How beautiful that. I can turn off the light. There, inshallah, a few minutes. Review together the Nasab of Amir al-Mu'minin. They said, when that Mal'un ibn Muljam, he had a strike against the head of Ali. He was looking for somewhere to run away because they came to grab him and capture him. He was looking for somewhere. He could not find anyone or anything or any place safer than Amir al-Mu'minin. He went back to Amir al-Mu'minin. Ali, help me. Ali, stay. His murderer, go back to him. Who are you, Ya Ali? But from tonight, Kufa and Kufi, those not loyal people, they don't have Ali anymore. They don't have to be bothered with forcing themselves to pretend that they love Ali. They don't have to betray Ali anymore because Kufa is not hearing the voice of Ali anymore. Ya Ali, what they did to you, how many times they broke your heart. They said sometimes Ali would say salam to them and they didn't answer the salam of Amir al-Mu'minin. How difficult it is for children of Ali to see that. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahu. Let's go to Kufa right now. Send your heart all to Kufa. One night after the shahadat of Amir al-Mu'minin. Now Imam Hassan and Hussein and Zainab and Kulsum, they don't have father anymore. Now the whole Kufa is not a place for these children anymore. How can they tolerate Kufa when they see the murderers and qatilin of their father? How difficult it is for children of Zahra. Assalamu alaykum ya Amir al-Mu'minin. Wherever you are, inshallah. 1 or 2 more minutes, inshallah. Close your eyes. Let's go to Najaf. Let's do some tawassul to Amir al-Mu'minin. These are the nights of Amir al-Mu'minin, inshallah. Al Mazloom of this world, this alam, inshallah. Assalamu alaykum ya Amir al-Mu'minin, ya Aba al-Hasan, ya Amir al-Mu'minin, ya Ali ibn Abi Talib, ya Hujjat Allah, ya Khalqih, ya Sayyidana wa Mawlana. إنا توجهنا
واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا all together يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا ما شاء الله here is your voice يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا. Let me tell you, one person, she called Ali between the wall and the door as well. When Fatima was in that situation, she said, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. Oh, how difficult it is for Zahra. You know, in that condition for a lady, how hard it is that she saw that they put a rope against and around the arm of Ali, they're pulling him towards masjid. She ran after Ali. Where are you taking my husband? Where are you taking my Ibn Amma? Don't do that. She grabbed the clothing of Ali. It was the moment that Mal'un told his slave, one foot cut the hand of Zahra. And one foot with the cover of his sword, he hit the arm of Zahra. Malum Zahra is already in pain of what happened to her baby Mohsen. You don't have to hit her with the qalaf shamshir and the cover of sword. Oh, imagine Imam Hassan was next to Zahra. He's only 4 or 5 years old. He saw everything what happened to his mother Zahra. Oh, they said Zahra fell down on the ground. Imam al-Sadiq says, وَكَانَ سَبَبُ وَفَاتِهَا أَنَّ قُنْفُزًا مَوْلَى فُلَانْ لَكَزَهُ بِلَعْنِ الزَّيْبِ. The reason of the shahadat of Abu Mother is that hidden is strong, that he hit the arm of our mother Zahra. Now that you feel this, let me finish with this. Zahra says, Ya Ali, daffirni bil-ghalayl, ghassilni bil-layl, wash my body at night. At night when Ali was washing, he told all children, if you want to cry, cry quietly. I don't want the neighbor to hear us. Asma said, all of a sudden I heard Ali is crying out loud. What happened? I just touched the arm of Zahra. I just touched the place that Mal'un hit arm of Zahra. I can't. He put his head against the wall and he started crying out loud. Oh, Ya wajihan inda Allah, ishfa lana inda Allah. لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. Have all that hajjah inshallah in your mind. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. لا تؤمن إن شاء الله. اللهم عجل مولانا الفرج والعافية والناس ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته. يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. Ya Allah, for the sake of awliya and anbiya, hasten the door of our Imam Mahdi. Give us tawfiq and opportunity to be among the true followers of our Imam. Ya Allah, help our youth, make them successful in dunya wal akhirah, remove obstacles towards their marriage. Ya Allah, anyone from this ummah, specifically the father of the Bayt, especially my brothers and sisters in this majlis, if they have any requests and hajat, give them all khair hajat. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who are intentionally hurting Islam and Muslimin, send their evil back to themselves. Those who are helping Islam and Muslimin and benefiting them under any title and clothing. Ya Allah, give them long life with izzah. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who are sick, they wish they could come to this majalis. Help them and cure them all at this moment. Those who passed away, send the thawab out of this message to their soul, inshallah. Rahmallahu man yaqra al-Fatiha ma as-salawat.